Hey, what is going on? I'm so excited to talk to you guys today because today I want to share with you my thoughts on a 90-day run. So how many of you, if you're watching me live, how many of you have heard of a 90-day run? How many of you have done one before? Let's do it this way. If you've ever done a 90-day run, drop me a 1 in the comments below because I want to talk today about is it really worth it or not? So I'm going to be really breaking down the numbers. I have a couple thoughts on this, but I thought what better way to kick off, we're kind of midway almost through October right now. And in most businesses, October, November, it's one of the busiest months of the year. It's super awesome. That's some of the highest months I've ever had in my business. So I want to share with you, is a 90-day run something to really think about right now? Is it something that you should be thinking about doing? And how exactly can you break that down so that way you can hit your goals, especially around this time of year? So I'm really going to break that down. So I have a couple of thoughts. Hey, Melanie, thanks for watching. But I have a couple different thoughts because here's a couple things that I was thinking about this past week. So I've heard a 90-day run. A lot of people do it. A lot of people put their heart and their soul into it. They hustle their butts off. But at the end of it, they're completely burnt out. So you don't want that to happen, but it's great for somebody that is maybe looking, maybe they need something to just kind of kick their butt into gear and to keep them going and to kind of get off into momentum. But here's my thought on the 90-day run. So this is something like, I'm going to break down the numbers again, but this is something that you can do any time of year. So not so much just October, November, but you can actually do this throughout the year, every single day of the year, so that way you can keep your momentum going and sustain it. So that's where a lot of network marketers struggle is they build up that momentum, they get super, super excited, they have that momentum going, they get their business all running, they have that success, but all of a sudden they start stalling and they start losing that, sustainability. So let's break that down. I do have some notes that I want to go through with you. So here's what a 90-day run looks like. So the first thing you want to do, grab your calendar and you want to take a look at your calendar and when you can actually go on a 90-day run. So the first thing, if you have a lot of things going on in your calendar, if you're traveling, if you're going to be away, things are crazy, it's really not the best time to put your focus into a 90-day run because you really want to make sure that you have the commitment to do it. So for those of you that are watching the replay, hashtag replay, and if you're new to my page, my name is Melissa Kibler and I help, I'm stumbling over my words this morning, but I help entrepreneurs, network marketers really grow their business using the internet, social media, so that way you can work smarter, not harder on your business. All right, so number one, take a look at your calendar, and number two is you want to know where you want to go. So in every single business, I'm going to talk network marketing business too, in every single network marketing business, you have different ranks. So whether it be, some network marketing companies have, elite, or they got to get up to, Royal Crown Diamond, double black diamond. There's all different ranks per se. Okay, so you want to know where you want to go, your level, your rank, and your income level. So you want to take a look at all of those things and you want to make sure you know exactly what you need to do to make that happen. So sorry guys, I'm looking down at my notes because I have a lot of details breaking down the numbers for you so that way you can really kick this off. So knowing your numbers is super, super, super important. You want to know what that volume is. So say at the end of your 90-day run, you want to hit a volume of maybe 25,000 in your business. Maybe you're shooting big, maybe it's 100,000 in your business, okay? You want to know what that volume is and how you can break it down so that way you know what to hit per month. So I'm going to give you just a number. And again, when you are thinking about what you want to do for your income goal or a rank, whatever that is, as far as like overall group volume, things like that, you can do this accordingly. It works all the same way. So say you want at the end of 3 months that you want to attain 25,000 in overall group volume, okay? So if you divide that by 3 months, your 90-day run, 3 months, that means each month you should be shooting for about $8,333 a month, okay? And then from there, you divide it by 4 because it's four weeks in a month. That's about $2,083 a week. And then if you break it down each day, that's about $297 a day. So, that means when you are going into this, you also need to know how many people you need to be talking to and reaching out to in order to get a new sale or recruit. I've seen a lot of people, sometimes the average might be like a 30% conversion rate. So maybe it's 30 people. Every 30 people that you talk to every single day and you're consistent with that, you may get a new sale or recruit. So your goal is to, if you have that end goal of $25,000 at the end of your 90-day run, is to have $297 a day. Now, it may seem like a lot if you are just starting out as a business partner and you are doing this all on your own. But when you start having leaders underneath you, think about that big income goal and think about all of those leaders coming together and breaking that up between you. Think about how attainable that can be, okay? So it really takes the weight off of your shoulders. And it's really important also to communicate with your team as to where you see yourself going and to really get them excited to have that new diamond, in your team or whatever that rank is. Because then that's going to help them edify you. It's going to help them, just to be a part of and excited about being a part of a diamond team. So they should be just as excited to help with this huge team goal, because in the end, not only are you able to attain that big goal and that rank, but you are also helping that other person. So they're also winning. So it's a big, big team effort. This is what network marketing is all about. That is why I absolutely love this business, because everybody's winning, everybody's helping everybody out. Can I get an amen? Drop me some hearts if you agree. It's amazing. I wish everybody would wake up and see how amazing this industry really is. So, okay. So if you say are reaching out to 30 people a day. I know this number sounds crazy, but I'm just going to go through it just because of easy number's sake. If you talk to 30 people a day and you do this for a month, okay, there's 30 days in a month. That means you would have reached out to just about 1,000 people that month, okay? Isn't that crazy? So if in a course of a month, you would have reached out to about 1,000 people. Now, if you have a 30% conversion rate, then that means that if you reached out to about 1,000 people that month, then about 300 people would have got started in your business as a product or a business partner. How awesome is that? Hey, Debbie, I see that you're watching. How are you? So now it gets really cool. Because if you bring in, 300 people, say you have different packages in your company. I know I do. It's a really great way to leverage too. So if you have a middle pack where they're coming in at like $500 and you multiply that by 300 people, that is a total of 150,000 overall group volume in your business. Is that awesome? So yes, those numbers seem big, but again, if you have leaders, if you have, people in your team that are working, with you, alongside of you, you can break that up between everybody. So, and again, you don't have to always start there. So if you're not being consistent right now, talking to new people every single day, I would definitely encourage you to do that. I mean, there's billions of people on Facebook. There's tons of people to talk to. So throughout my training, there's just so many different ways that you can reach people without being salesy, without posting your product on social media, without posting your links, really having people reach out to you. It's awesome. It's amazing. I'm in the trenches. I'm having that same experience right now and having people reach out to me and new leads in my inbox. There's different ways to do it. But if you're just starting out on social media, then the best way is just to keep engaging with people. Keep just being genuinely curious about people and their life, and you're going to hear things, you're going to ask questions. There's different ways to go about it and reach out to people. But I want to give you some tips. So you want to be able to have more people to talk to on your list than you can even get back to. Okay, you want it to get messy. And that was super, super hard for me in the beginning because I try to be super organized. I'm like, okay, I talked to this person. When am I supposed to follow up? I was all over the place. But if you're starting to feel like that, where you're messy and all over the place and you don't have enough time in the day to get back to these people, that means you are just, you're on your way. You're getting into that momentum and good things are going to come. So let it get messy. You want to make sure that you're growing your list every day too. So the night before when I go to bed, I usually, if somebody pops into my head, I write them down just to reach out to, just to get a conversation going. There's no motive, nothing like that with my business. Sometimes just, hey, how's it going? So birthdays, that's another really good thing. Okay, so in your Facebook notifications, you get a notification. I feel like for me, every single day it's somebody's birthday, right? On my friends list. So rather than just saying happy birthday, like everybody else does, it's just a happy birthday or happy anniversary, and that's it. Like, come on, like we can be a little bit more genuine than that. So you can add something else to that, make it just a little bit more unique, make it look like you're taking the time to actually, like, you care about them. And something that can also really set you apart is if you send them a video, like a voice clip on Messenger. That's just gonna take it one step further, saying, hey, how are you? Happy birthday. It's a super awesome way to kind of get back in touch with those people. And then you can get a conversation going. So that's another idea. But you want to be able to grow your list every single day. So I have a tracker and I just keep like the people that I want to talk to that day, I write down, but every single day I'm adding maybe 2 to 5 people new every single day to my list. So you're probably thinking, well, how do I do that? If I burn through my warm market, if I burn through my friends and family, how can I just add these people to my list? Well, utilize social media. Utilize when you are out and about and talking to people. And if somebody strikes you as like being just super sharp, or you're having a great conversation, you're part of your kids' sporting events and you're building that relationship, like, oh my gosh, I'd love to keep connecting with you. Let's connect on Facebook. Are you on? Simple as that. So there's a lot of ways. And also utilize social media, Facebook groups, your interest groups. So if you're into working out, if you're into like cooking and food and things like that, then be a part of those groups. And when people are asking questions like, oh my gosh, I would love to work out, but I don't have time, or I would love to work on this, or I would love a healthy organic recipe, looking for some ideas, give that back to them. That is the value that you're giving back to those people. So when you give value back without pitching, without saying, this is the business I'm in, here's my products, here's this will help you, then they're going to know, like, and trust you more. Okay. So I would encourage you to do that. And by doing that, by reaching out to those people in those groups, just by giving that content to them, that value to them, what's going to start happening, and this is what started happening to me, is they're going to start friend requesting you. So that way it's not the other way around. You're not like, getting their friend request, because if you have anything with your company related on your personal page, some people do it great, it's fine. But sometimes what happens, and what I found was, if you have too much on your page and you add a friend and they come onto your page and they see that, they're going to be like, oh, that's why they were talking to me. They're trying to pitch me this. They're in this company. They want me to use their product or whatever. That sometimes people are funny like that. So that's just a little tip that I've learned throughout the years. And that's why on my personal page, you don't see my product, you don't see my opportunity. But there's definitely ways that you can create curiosity posts as to what you're doing. And it really gets people thinking, and I've gotten people to just reach out to me and be like, oh my gosh, it looks like you're having so much fun. What are you a part of now? What are you doing? And it opens up that conversation. Okay, so you want to make sure you're adding to that list every day. Again, there's billions of people. Build those relationships. Knowing what you need to do every single day. So do you know what is the most income bringing activity that you need to be doing in your business every day? Because, when I first got started in traditional network marketing, there's tons and tons of activities. I'm like, okay, no, income bringing, is it really, I didn't really understand the concept, I guess. So an income bringing activity is something that's actually going to be bringing you, those income, I guess, right? So the best, no matter what company you're in, no matter what product you are promoting, no matter what service you're promoting, whatever it is, the income bringing activity that you should be doing every single day is, number one, you continue to build rapport, you initiate conversation every single day, and then you're piquing interest. So that way you're getting people coming to you asking what you do and not the other way around. It just feels so much better. And then you want to be able to send people to your presentations every single day. Do you have a presentation in place? this is part of the system. It's part of being just more efficient, having a more duplicable system for your new team members, especially. Like, you can have all the tools and you can know what you're doing in your business, but when somebody gets started and they don't have a clear path, that's where the sustainability starts like diminishing. That's where you lose that, is when they don't have that clear path getting started. So you want to make sure you know exactly when somebody gets started as a customer or a business partner. You want to make sure, boom, 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 this is what needs to happen. Because if you say enroll 50 people at once in a month, or whatever number that is, you want to make sure that there's a system for them to follow, so that way nobody falls through the cracks. And that way you don't lose anybody, you don't miss anything, you don't overlook anything. So that's something that you really, really want to consider. So also, when I'm reaching out to people, when I get into the zone, I don't dwell on people that don't respond right back to me. Like, people are busy, right? We get it. Sometimes we have to follow back up and be like, hey, like, I know life gets really, really busy. Like, did you get my message? I just want to make sure like everything's okay, or whatever. Things come up. Life gets busy. So again, you don't want to dwell on people that don't respond back. And don't get caught up in your words so much too. There's a lot of scripts out there. They're great for a guide to initiate conversation and to walk you through that conversation. But don't get hung up on like the wording of the script, because they still want to hear you and your voice. So you definitely want to, when I reach out to every person, I definitely have my intention in place. I know exactly why I'm reaching out to that person. Maybe it's just to build that rapport back up. Maybe it's because, you know what, that person, I haven't talked to in a really long time, but they're super, super sharp. I know they're going to be super fantastic for my business. And just the way that I go about it, I don't pitch my link, I don't pitch my business, but the way my words are and the way I put it out to people, I essentially know what I have in the palm of my hand. I know for a fact, that I don't necessarily need, like, this is how my mentality is when I'm reaching out to that person. I don't need you in my business. That's how it should be. Like, you're giving them this opportunity, whether they want to hop on board, whether or not they find that product that's going to help them. As much as we think it will, they may not be at that point yet. So again, you have to have that posture. You have to have that confidence. If you haven't seen John Maxwell's video on confidence, I posted that yesterday. That's a super great video just on confidence and how to set yourself up in conversation and posture. But okay, getting back to my notes here. So you want to be, again, like I said, I would have talked to everybody in my business, but now I'm very specific, because when I am onboarding new business partners and leaders in my organization, my main goal is to grow and empower leaders. I want them to be ready and excited and equipped. So customers, yes, I definitely have a system for them. They're going to be supported, but especially with customers or business partners, when I'm reaching out, I am not just bringing everybody into my business. I kind of qualify them. I'm very, very specific now. And since I've been doing that, I've been noticing a huge difference in my business. The last week alone, I want to say I enrolled, 4 new business partners in the past week by doing this. Okay. So again, it's posture. I've never been able to do that before, and people that are ready to run. So, all right. So let's see. And also, when I set those new business partners up, I tell them right away, events are non-negotiable. I've been to numerous events over the past year, and in order for that new person, again, you have to talk with posture. And again, in your mind, you do want to set that new person up for success. And if they're not going to go to that next event, if they are not going to be on auto ship and they don't see the value in on auto ship because they're going to earn more, save more, and all of that good stuff, then they're just simply not going to be set up. They're not going to be set up to be as successful as they could be. Okay, does that make sense? So again, so events for my new team members, non-negotiable. So is auto ship. And also, for success, you have to set yourself, you kind of have to set that example. So if you are, coming in at your lowest package and then you're promoting these higher packages, I always tell that to my new person too. It's like, do what you would want them to do, because that way you definitely they can relate to that too. And they're going to want the same thing when they start enrolling new people. Hey, Lisa, say, I really struggle with sharing the opportunity. Thanks. You're welcome. So did I. I'm glad that you said that, because in the beginning, it was all about product, and I'm going to get off topic a little bit, but I think this is important to do this. So when I first started my network marketing company, in the beginning, like anybody, nobody wakes up in the morning saying, I'm going to join a network marketing company, or I'm super excited, I have $500 to spend and get started in this network marketing company. Nobody does. So most people get started with a product because they fall in love, they're introduced by a friend, and that's what happened to me. So when I first got started, of course, that's what I did. I was talking to my friends and family, this product's amazing, like you gotta check it out. And here's what happened for me. I got a lot of friends and family excited because they're like, oh my gosh, yeah, that's cool. It sounds good. I'm gonna try it. Guess what happens? They get started in your business because they get caught up in an emotion and they're gonna try the product. But in the end, a lot of those same people that got started have fell off. I no longer have them in my business anymore. Okay, has that happened to you before? Drop me number 2 in the comments if that has happened to you. It's because they got caught up in the emotion, but they didn't quite see the value, or maybe had felt the experience of staying on that product or being a part of the business for the long term. Because, okay, so for customer, maybe they didn't have that experience, right? So maybe your company, maybe they haven't seen enough testimonies of other people seeing it work for them. And 2, if they're a business partner, they might have fallen off because they got really excited by somebody sharing this opportunity, saying, oh my gosh, it's amazing, you can make so much money, and it's so easy, and all of a sudden they get started and they're not making back the money that they want to make back, and they're like, oh my gosh, this is hard work, there's no way I can do this. Okay, so sometimes people don't say no to the opportunity, but sometimes they say no to the process and what it takes to have success, to get out of their comfort zone. They're not willing to do that, okay? That's why a lot of people fall off. And especially if there's not a clear system. And I honestly, as far as business goes, I was doing a lot of things the same as my cross-line friends, a lot of people in the same company. As far as sharing the products, I would do home parties and classes and samples and make and takes and all of that stuff, but I was getting burnt out. I was spending more time away from my family and my friends. I was like, you know what? I see the vision too much in this industry, and I see it too much to quit, but I also know that there's gotta be a better way because there's other people out there crushing it. So I turned to social media. I did some Googling and all of that. I don't know if you fully know my story, but that's what I did. And that now I'm fully online. Okay. And oh my gosh, I'm totally like off on a tangent. Forgot where I was headed with that. But, systems. So this is why the systems are so important to have, because when I was asked, I had a conversation with a friend and I was asked, okay, now when you get a new person started, what does it look like for them? What do you send them? How do you follow up? What's the process look like for them? And I was just like, I don't know, And when she asked me that question, it was such an eye-opener because I'm like, oh my gosh, this is why my people aren't duplicating, okay? Because maybe I'm waiting. I feel myself like I'm a leader and I'm there for support and they know that, but they weren't coming to me for questions. I was missing that team culture. That was really, really hard for me, okay? So now, this is why I always stress to evaluate your actions. Most importantly, you're taking actions, getting out of your comfort zone. Because if you're not taking action every day, you're really not able to evaluate what's working and what's not working for your business, okay? So, and that was something too. I mean, it's such a learning curve. But if you're on here right now, or if you're listening to the replay and you don't know how to do any of those things, please reach out, because I didn't know how important those things were. I didn't know what it actually looked like how do I evaluate? What am I supposed to be tracking? I had no idea about any of this because nothing was ever with my high upline leaders. I can't use the blame game. I can't blame them. At the end of the day, this business, it all comes back on us, right? We're growing our own business. But my upline just didn't have the knowledge themselves to pass that on to me, okay? So now that I have that knowledge, this is why I started this fan page. This is why I'm getting on and talking to you. I'm in the trenches. I'm talking to you and sharing with you what I'm learning because I know there's so many network marketers out there that are struggling. And this business is too great to pass up. I'm going to cry. So you have to reach out. So if you are, again, if you're stuck, I would be happy to help you. Just reach out to me and we can either do a video chat or I can try to answer your questions as best as I can through messaging. But yeah, give your all every single day. And I'm going to talk really to wrap this thing up. I'm going to talk just this past week about my story about missing my goal by $380. And I'm going to tell you why. And I know exactly why that happened. In the beginning of the month, I have a lot of things going on, not only in my network marketing business, but I also do a lot of online marketing stuff and a lot of things going on. So in the beginning of this month, I was doing my reach outs and I was being kind of reaching out. And then I started reaching out here and there, like, okay, I'm going to get to it. Because I had other things that were kind of my priority at that point that I had to get done. So towards the end of the month, I had a few days left to hit this bonus, this goal, and I was $500 short, okay? So what do? The last couple days, I'm like, okay, making my list, I'm going through, I'm reaching out, and I'm like, it was amazing when I went to bed at night because I would feel so accomplished that I was reaching out, whether I sent them to a presentation or whether they didn't respond back yet, I knew that I was doing my job, okay, by reaching out. And guess what was happening? A lot of conversations were going, a lot of presentations were sent, and people were getting started, taking a look at my product or opportunity because I was doing the work and I was being consistent. But what happened was I started doing that too late. Even though I knew what I had to do, I fell off because I wasn't consistent, I wasn't taking action, and I knew that is why, I totally could have achieved that last $380 to achieve my bonus. So at the end of the day, it's like you just have to give your all every day. You have to give your personal best. And give yourself grace because if you're still not enrolling people, again, there's a learning curve to that. There's a learning curve in just having meaningful conversations and just steering conversations and being genuine and just having a conversation with people. That's a learning curve right there. Not everybody can do that effectively. So give yourself grace. But if you're willing to be coachable and you're willing to fall down and make mistakes and get up and do it again and again and again, then you're on the right path. But if you're reaching out to say 100 people and nobody's getting started, yeah, you have to take a look at okay, why? What's happening? I have to change something here, okay? So yeah, so that's my little story in a sense. Again, it's easy to start building up that momentum when you're getting started, but to sustain that momentum is a different story. And you have to have a system in place, and that's what I found. And it doesn't have to be complicated. It needs to be super, super, super simple. But as far as doing the most income-bringing activities in any business every single day, it comes down to three things. You are building rapport, initiating conversation. You have to set that intention of why you're reaching out to people, but you also have to know what you're sending them. So a presentation, that could mean in-home presentation. If you love doing those, great. They're face-to-face, touch-to-touch type presentations are above all the best. People love that. People, just to be in the same room and to feel your emotion, people do best with that. But honestly, I've gotten away from that because, I know that people are having success online as well. And that's what I've been doing online. So anyway, whatever presentation that you have, it's a video or whatever. But if you're sending them, you want to be able to give them multiple exposures too. So not just one video. Maybe you have a Facebook group with testimonies. Maybe you have another company video on the product or the comp plan or, the product science, anything at all. You should have multiple exposures. I didn't have that at first either. But that's something that I learned where if you send one exposure at a time, one exposure, but before I even send an exposure, I get a time commitment. And the reason is because I'm not going to chase that person down saying, did you watch it? Did you watch it? What did you think? They're going to get annoyed by that. I don't want to waste my time or their time. So I always get a time commitment before I send that exposure. And say I have a video, like, okay, great, I'm going to send you over. If I send you over this video, would you have enough time to take a look at it if I followed up with you later on this evening or tomorrow? What works best for you? Then I wait for a time. And if they can give me a time, I will send over the video. Because if they can't watch it during the time, I'll be like, okay, great, no problem. Let me know, the next week, when do you think you're going to have some time? I really get a time commitment. I do not send them information. Okay. So after every time I send them an exposure, I'm following up with them, because we all know that a follow-up is the key to success. Sometimes it takes people multiple exposures for them to see the value in what you have to offer. So I know I went way over time here. I don't know how much I've talked, but I really appreciate you for watching. I know I got off on some tangents today, but hopefully this really, really helped you. And again, if there's anything specifically that you want me to maybe talk more on as well, maybe I'll try to do a poll too, whether it be more engagement, more recruits and sales, social media stuff, anything at all. Just throw it out there and I'll see if I can put something together for you. So again, thanks Debbie. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks again everybody for watching. I hope you have a great day, a fabulous weekend. It's a little chilly here in upstate New York. So I got my sweater on, I got my hot coffee, but we had like 80-degree weather yesterday and today it's like 49. So it's crazy, but winter is definitely coming. So I need to get ready for that. I am not a cold person. So, all right. Again, thanks for watching, and until next time.